Hello.
So, Greg is going to announce ICFP 2013. Greg.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Yay. I'm very sorry that I couldn't be there. I really wish I could, but I had to teach. I'm very pleased and happy to announce that ICFP 2013 will be held in the Boston area, that I'm going to serve as general chair, and Tarmo Ustalu from Tallinn University of Technology, Estonia, will serve as program chair. Tarmo and I are working already to make sure that this is the best ICFP ever. We're going to look forward to in Boston. There are tons of students, on the order of 250,000. And so we're going to end up with, sorry, you're echoing, but we're going to end up with a ton of students there from many different universities, Harvard, MIT, Brown, etc. There are many students that are going to be there. It's a great city for walking and getting around because of the good public transportation. And I'm making sure that we get the best venue and the best price that we can. So I hope to see all of you there. And if you have any questions or suggestions about how to make ICFP better, we'd be very interested to find out. So don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of the meeting.
Thanks a lot, Greg, for this nice heads up.
Tell us about the cows.
So they asked about the cows.
It's just a standard part of my office.
Some of the students you were mentioning.
So they're not students, right?
No.
Why are they not fair?
Okay, so let's do that. Thanks again for switching in.
Alright, so what's left from the conference? Not much actually. So there's this Best Question Award. So unfortunately you're not such a very active tweeting community as I discovered. So there were only a few entries that were worthwhile considering. If you look at it, there are a number of funny and less funny questions. And in the end it kind of boiled down to less than a handful, like 3 people that actually asked questions that made sense, and some of them were retweeted, some of them they're not. And in the end, I mean, I had to take some decision, and I selected the person called Nushio, and I happen to know that it was Takayuki Mananushi, and to know that he's a physicist who is trying hard to get his way into functional programming, and so I think he's at the right place, asking the right questions, and I promised to get something really Danish, and I asked the local guys here, and they said something that's called torskeron. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. That's something with fish eggs and so on, so that's very... Actually, we had it 2 days ago for lunch. In case you didn't notice. Right, so anyway, congratulations, Takayuki.
Thank you.
Yes,
What was the question? Does it matter?
he has a couple of questions. I mean, we don't have time right now. You can just look after. Right, so this you already saw, unfortunately. Wait. So this you already saw, and well, another nice picture of Greg. Right, so ICFP 2012. So as you know, I'm still SLM, the general chair of 2012, but of course I can't do the work alone, and part of the of doing the work is choosing the right people who know more and invest lots of work in making things happen. And one of those people who really went out of his place, unfortunately he couldn't be here this week, is Andy Adams-Moran, and he really worked hard to contact all our nice sponsors and persuaded them to give us the best they have. So thanks to Andy. Right. Well, then, almost always present in almost all sessions, tirelessly working to provide us with the best possible video recording that you'll find later on in the DL, Malcolm Wallace, who's doing this service for years, actually.
Yeah.
Thanks, Malcolm.
And students.
So whenever you look at ICFP's web pages, they are kept in order and they're always up to date, and that's due to Wouter Zwiestra, our publicity chair, who's unfortunately retiring this year. So thanks, Wouter, for a great job. So yesterday you enjoyed the programming contest, and I have to say, so Kevin and Edwin really stepped in on fairly short notice. As you have seen, November last year, I got rid of one of my greatest pains and honors. So they agreed to do the programming contest, and as you saw yesterday, they did a really great job. And give them a hand. So. Now we're getting more technical, so I don't think I mentioned it in the beginning, so we also had a record number of workshop suggestions. I think we have now 13 workshops in total. That's the highest number ever, and you already enjoyed 5 of them yesterday, so the remaining 8 are in the next 3 days, so we have still something to do. Right, so, and thank you to Patrick Jansen and Gabi Keller, who were the workshop chairs for this year. Next technical item, also alarmed on very short notice, recruited on very short notice, and I was really happy that he was able to take over the student research contest and do a really great job out of it in this short time. So that is Deutsche Zwiestra and his, oh, I didn't hear, but he had a bunch of people recruited to actually help him evaluating the poster submission. Thank you, Deutsche. Well, now, the last 3 days you enjoyed a superb program selected by Robbie and, of course, by his PC members, and I think they really deserve a really big applause for their... Right, so we're left with local arrangements, and so that was also one of my worries, and I have to admit I couldn't have found a better partner to run this conference than Fritz. So Fritz was kind of available almost all day and night, always eager with suggestions, and always eager also to find solutions to seemingly impossible problems like how to pay or how not to pay the Danish VAT. Thank you. Just in case you didn't know, we are all students here and we're learning something here, right? And just in case you didn't notice. But of course, Fritz also couldn't do his work on his own, and he has assembled a local organization committee, and I think he wanted to say something about that.
I was just about to say it all by myself. I think I'd like to ask actually the local arrangements committee. So Patrick, Michael, whoever is here, some of them actually already off to the next place to stand up. And yes, Andre and Ken, and where's Joost? There, Joost. And Martin had to move off. He's going to see a couple of bankers to tell him about functional programming. We have Jette, who is actually, where's Jette? Oh, here she is, yeah. So I think, hopefully you will give them a really great applause because they did the actual work. So, thank you. There are 4 people actually who made it all work. We couldn't have done it actually without Michael, who's also joined us at DICU, and Patrick, I've mentioned already, who actually organized, and all the wonderful student volunteers we got to make it all run in the end actually. So student volunteers, please get up. Oh, now embarrassing. Take a last moment's notice for you to make aware that we have 2 groups out there. You know, the first group will be leaving at 5 minutes past 6, and that's the crime tour group. Please go outside, and the canal tour will please stay in here a couple more minutes, so you don't go to the wrong tour, okay? But it's not the last item we have for the evening at ICFP. First of all, we have a whole three more days to go, but the final stop at ICFP is, of course, the awards for the Student Research Council. Deutsche.
Okay, we had 6 presentations this afternoon, and there are also 6 prizes awarded by the ACM, which is you all get a 2-year membership free of the ACM and a membership of the digital library. And then there's a first prize of 500 euros, a second prize of 300 euros, and a third prize of 200 euros. And as I told, the winner in each category will also be invited with a supervisor by the ACM to some conference to compete with all the other conferences. So there you have to defend the ICFP against all the rest of computer science. As a token from the ACM to show at home that you really made it to the competition, that you made it to the finals, I have to hand out some medals. And they are more important than the medals at the Olympics, and that is why they are square and not round, so you can clearly see the difference. And then there is also something black inside, and I have no idea what it is, but probably something just to wear there. So now I am happy to announce that, start with the undergraduates, that the bronze medal is going to Matthias Brancard. Congratulations. And then there is a silver medal, which is going to Olivier Savary. Then you know where the gold medal is going, because there's only one left, and that's Francisco Ferreira. And so he has one more trip to go, and then we come to the medals for the graduate competition, and the bronze medal will go to Ki Jung An. And then we had a long discussion whether how to divide the silver and the golden medal, because we had Thomas Pettersen had a very cute idea, but we thought we have to see how this is going to work out. But as a sign of encouragement, he is getting the silver medal. He's not here anymore. Well, I always wanted to have a medal, so. And then there is the gold medal, which is for Thomas Schilling, because we thought he did a solid piece of engineering and he really showed some interesting results, and we should like to see him defend this at the ACM Central event. So Thomas Schilling. And then there's one general remark I should like to make. That is, when we came together this afternoon as a jury, which consisted of Ken Fritz Larsen, of Robbie Findler, of Patrick Jansson, and of Jacques Garrigue. They worked very hard also these days for interviewing the students, but we were actually quite surprised to see how well their presentation compared to the initial questioning we did at the beginning. So our conclusion is that actually having a poster session at the ICFP and standing there and getting questions about your research gives you a lot of interaction, which is probably a very good idea. So we'll recommend that in the future you really have larger poster sessions, so for students there will be more interactions. That's what I wanted to say. There's one medal left, but does anyone know where Thomas is?
He'll be back tomorrow or the other.
Okay. I'll guard it with my life, yeah.
Thank you. Right, so we shouldn't forget to say one more thing. Essentially, this whole conference is all about you, and we have to say thank you to the authors who submitted papers, to their reviewers who spent countless hours reading these papers, and to you for actually attending here and coming here in such large numbers. So thank you very much for being here this year, and I really hope to see all of you in Boston in 2030.
And we can go from there to the general chair.
Yes.
I guess it's time for the votes and walks now.